Hello, and welcome back to Factorio Space Age. So we've been working on Gleba, and as I mentioned at the beginning of the previous recording, time is somewhat pressing because Fulgora is running out of stuff that it has access to right now. I need to be on site to fix it. And Nauvis needs some work on its oil area pronto. So that means I need to get my exports going here. I need to get my exports. I need to get my rocket launching. I need to get my science going. Actually, all I really need to do is get the rocket silos down. Whoops. This is left over from some planning. Let's get rid of you. I need to get the rocket silos going, and I need to get them filled up with stuff. And we should be draining our fruits out of here. 1K in there, 16 in there. I am going to kill that so we don't have... should probably have some yellow chests marked explicitly for the fruits, just in case. Yeah. I'll do a row of Yamako and a row of jelly nut. This is separate from the green chests. Where are the green chests for these guys? It should be down here somewhere. Did I get rid of my buffer chests? Surely I did not. I may have gotten rid of my buffer chests. That's, oh, no, there they are. Okay. Oh, that's right. I didn't put them back down here because you can't just burn jelly nut and Yamako. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in here now. And we are going to have this bringing in the Yamako. Add a couple zeros to that to make sure that it fills the box. And you are jelly nut. There we go. It's kind of a nice central place to buffer them up. So they'll come in from the farms and get pulled into these chests, and they can hold in the chests until they're ready to go out. We're holding the... Well, actually, let's take these up. I'm going to put it here, like that, so it's all kind of in one place. And of course, I'm abusing my poor robots. So the seeds are buffered together, and we're burning excess. The spoilage, we're buffering together and taking care of the excess. And we've got these guys like that. And all the requesters are set to request from buffer chests, where they should be. So we're good. So again, I've spent some time offline in a planning area doing the dog work of designing the blueprints. Now, these blueprints were not as hard as they could have been. The science blueprint gave me a couple of hours of headache. Kept tweaking and twirling and trying to get things going. And what I'm left with, I think I'm going to put down the science first. Let's extend our build area a bit. Building on top of water isn't bad because I have a whole bunch of landfill. Oh, we need to extend our farms. That's right. So, what I want to do on the farming stuff, eventually we'll have soil that can go in a lot of places. Right now, we're kind of limited as to where we can put soil, even if I put down... let's see, can I get rid of you? I can. I think I need to turn you around like that. There. So if we bring this guy up, what we see is there's green areas and yellow areas and red areas. I think the yellow is stuff that I can landfill on. Let's bring up a bar here, and I'm going to put down, not spoilage, excuse me, I want landfill. But I also want to be putting down artificial Yamako soil and later on artificial jelly nut soil. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So 21 by 21 is the size of the farms. So I put that down there and that down there. That'll get the artificial soil put in. To expand those farms as much as we can. So notice he has a full set, and he has almost a full set. Now, why didn't it put it in up here? Apparently, there's stuff up here we can't do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with this. We're going to look at the map. We're going to see how big this whole area is that we can build on. I think I am going to landfill starting in this cell here. Actually, let's make a blueprint, which is landfill of the whole cell. Come on. Oh, I don't know if I can do a blueprint which is landfill of the whole cell without finding that much water. Yeah, I guess I can't. Anyway, so the farm is kind of this cell. I'm going to take from here, Control Shift, and I'm going to put this down all the way out to here. And we're going to go a little bit wider than we should. I could have expanded this a little further. Now this is going to replace my soil with landfill. That's okay, because we're going to fix that up in a moment. So I did that, and now we're going to take the artificial Yamako soil, and I'm going to start off here. First thing is placing you and you. So that'll get the priority. We're going to then put Yamako soil in the rest of this as well. But I'm going to let the robots finish up a bit. I think the Yamako soil is set. So now I'm going to come up here, and in the same area, I'm going to say make all of this artificial Yamako soil. In fact, that's 21. I guess I can't go any bigger than that. Okay. So we're going to go all the way out to here. This is all the area I landfilled before. And we're going to say if we can put in the Yamako soil anywhere in this area, we're going to do that. Just like that. Okay. So now my bots are going to make this into farmland as best they can. Once we get all of this done, I'm going to reevaluate where my farms go. Now let's do the same thing over on the other side. I think I can do it from here. Like that might be easier. The farms are in here. We're going to come out. Actually, let's come out to here. I'm going to do it based on the power network this time. We're just going to scrub it in. I can be sloppy with this. I just realized there's no need to be at all careful here. So I am not hearing... Okay, this guy, yeah. So all of this water is getting landfill. Okay, now we're going to put in artificial jelly nut soil. Again, we're going to start with you. I'm going to work out from the middle, just like that. So let's just go ahead and do this. Okay, so you can hear where it's chirping, where it isn't. That's the area where we can put in the farmland. Okay, so the farmland isn't as big as I thought it was, and it's easier to see than I thought it would be. Go back to here. This is actually quite large farmland. So if I just hold down shift and not control shift, it won't replace any of the farmland. But I can get the water taken out, and now we go back to the Amako soil. And we have a little extra couple of chirps that I heard there as that extended. There we go. So my robots are going to busily be doing that. We're still only using half the robots. Apparently we don't have an infinite amount of the artificial soil and landfill. Yeah, we're grabbing the landfill as fast as we can. Cool. So that'll happen when it happens. So up here somewhere, this guy is going to extend. How are we doing for power? Still doing pretty good for power. This is a real champion here. I think I am going to have my taxi bring me another nuclear power plant. It's this starter right here. So we're going to turn you on. And we're going to go trip Nauvis to Gleba. So you'll pick up this. So you'll be bringing me back materials to make another nuclear reactor. Okay, so site prep is ready. Well, sort of ready. We're obviously going to be using some landfill here. I just queued off a whole bunch of landfill to be used, didn't I? Oh, that was bad planning. Let's go down and take care of the stuff that I'm not going to put over landfill first. So, Gleba. So, science. Here's what Gleba Science looks like. Where's a good place to put Gleba Science? I'm going to put it off to the left here, I guess. Yeah, it's got some eggs that are going to be running around. So I want it away from the rest of the base a little bit. And we are going to be bringing it to the rockets using robots. So, like this. Yeah. Actually, let's turn it around. Since the science actually comes out the bottom. Okay, let's go take a look at how science came together. Like I said, I spent a couple of hours tweaking and tuning this. I'm going to see if I can avoid hacking away at it a bit. So, apparently we need one more of those. Cool, got it. So here's our science, agricultural science pack. Requires bioflux and pentapod eggs. That turns out ag science. Okay. And the agricultural science gets placed on a belt, which is heading, whoops, no. Egg science gets placed inside these boxes. Okay. I was fiddling around with putting it on belts. What we're going to do is we're going to have the ag science be pulled together in a buffer chest somewhere, and we're going to keep cycling it. This guy is going to be turning out ag science just boom, 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 as fast as he can. And what we're going to do is we're going to collect it all, and we're going to only keep the freshest bits, and we're going to dust the rest. So when a rocket arrives, it will load up as fresh of ag science as it can get, and then it'll rush off to Nauvis to drop it. But I want to get this cycling first. Now, currently, it's just going to dump it in the red boxes, and there it will stay, and it will eventually decay, and the decay will get on here. And we've got local things dealing with the decay. So, for instance, the spoilage comes down here. We are going to get rid of nutrients that make it this far. I didn't want them clogging up the belt. We have plenty of nutrients. We do not have anywhere near enough recyclers recycling the nutrients. So we're going to put speedy boots in the recyclers. I want you to catch up. I really do. What I want to see is a steady flow of nutrients so the nutrients are fresh. Because if you make science from non-fresh ingredients, the science freshness goes down. And as the science freshness goes down, you get less science out of each flask. So there's science. Now, I don't think the nutrient freshness actually counts for anything, but the Bioflux does. We're currently requesting in Bioflux. So, you know, it is what it is. And that's all it is, really. We're not requesting in very much. So once this actually gets going, the Bioflux will stay fairly fresh. I mean, this, 2 hours spoil time. If we spend a minute or two in that chest, we're not a problem. So now eggs. How do we get eggs? Well, somewhere here we are requesting in biochambers. And biochambers sometimes get pulled into here. Let me see. This guy has an egg. You don't have water. We're not progressing because we don't have water. Right. So I need to put some water in. We're going to bring it in from the right, I guess. There we go. Now we have water. now that we have water, I requested some biochambers. And if we don't have any eggs at all in this guy, okay, then we, so if the number of eggs is less than 1, we move a stack of biochambers into the recycler. The recycler outputs a bunch of stuff into a red box. If it's an egg, we put it out on this line where it'll get picked up. If it's not an egg, we send it back for refiling. So the parts of the biochamber that we're not using here go back into our logistics stock. That's fine. Now, there's a chance that we may get some spoilage. Okay. Some of this spoilage is no longer necessary. Once I got the, well, let's see. We've got a whole bunch of nutrients going out on all these belts. Got nutrients there, nutrients there, nutrients here, and all the nutrients here, because we're going to be using a lot of nutrients. Anyway, that gives us a whole bunch of paths. The nutrients start coming down. Oh, no, these nutrients, this is just the feedback loop. I'm sorry. I went a little crazy on this. Yeah. We have to have a lot of nutrients come out. It was more than I could handle with some normal bulk inserters. So I got 4 of them going. And then I thought, oh, I need to bring some back in to feed this guy nutrients. So I did this. It's kind of weird, but it works. Where did I seed the nutrients? Here it is. Okay, so we got nutrients coming in here. Bioflux coming in there. Bada boom, bada bang. All the nutrients go down here. So if I look at just the egg machines, the egg machines total are looking for 2,430 nutrients per minute. This guy can generate 3,600. So we've got enough nutrients, well, more than enough for all of that, we think. So these guys, this is our normal egg cooker. You put your outputs onto the outside of the belt. You bring why is this only bringing in 1? I'm not sure why I did that. We're actually just limiting the number of eggs these guys pick up. I think that was for a faster startup. Anyway, it's not a really big thing. Notice my test cannons. If something happens and we stop producing, say, nutrients, we'll end up with a whole bunch of eggs sitting here, and in 15 minutes they all hatch. That may have been one thing that we do here. If this guy has a limited number of eggs present, then it's not going to have too many things hatching. I could say less than 1 here. Yeah, let's change these to less than 1. Oh, wait, no, I remember why I did that. If you say less than 1, what happens is sometimes this will finish making 1 and see how long it takes before it gets 1, and now we're back to that. So you always want 1 waiting and 1 in process. So now we have a flow of eggs coming down the outside, and if we did everything right, we are getting 120 eggs per minute. So each of these belts should be getting 1 per second. That's perfect. Now let's look at the science. Science, these 4 together want 120. What a coincidence. They're requesting in Bioflux, and they're picking off nutrients from here. My initial building of this didn't use the efficiency modules, and I had a lot of problems, but once I put those in, we got better. I mean, these guys still use a whole ton of nutrients, but at least the parasitic, the amount of nutrients I needed for the fueling went down. Okay, so these guys eat an egg and some Bioflux and turn out an ag pack. And I think they run pretty close to 100%. 180. So if I look at my actual productivity here, see that we are not actually getting 180 per minute out of this. That's all right. I am willing to accept substantial fractions of maximum productivity as acceptable. Especially since 100 per minute is really all we're going to be sending back to the main science area. Okay, so there's that. What else do we want to build? So all these are set up. We need launch pads, and they're going to look something like that. There's going to be a belt feed of the processing units and the LDS. And we're going to bring the other way, we're going to bring the rocket fuel in via bots. We're also going to allow bots to bring in the other ones if we have it. Rocket fuel is a very simple build. It requires water. We're going to need a chip fab to make blue chips, and that's set up to produce some red chips, also red and green chips also into the logistics network. There's a small amount of excess red and green available. Mainly, we're doing this for the blue chips. I can also bring some copper coils into the main line if I want. Sulfuric acid is simple, requires water. I need sulfuric acid for the chip fab, right. We need plastic for the chip fab. So basically, we're going to dump the launch pads down, and we're going to do everything else based on what the launch pads are expecting. I need to reserve this area for... Actually, should we start doing the power? Let's put the power in, because I'm about to add some more stuff. Now you're going to need twice as much of this. So I'm going to start with grabbing all of this, flip you vertically, and add you on just like that. We need to double these. So I'm just going to grab down through there. And we'll start off with these guys. Start from here out to here. Now we're going to need to carefully set up these guys. Do I want to redesign this? You guys hook together. We only need this one. I may, well, let's do that. I will probably add more tanks to have more time to get things kick-started again when we get low. So the red wire is things about this, and the green wire is global, and the green wire did get connected because we share that power pole. And, oh, we did this just in time. By adding this, suddenly everybody cooled down. And I have some eggs on me. Don't trash unrequested. Yeah, this is not going to end well. My eggs are going to hatch. All my eggs are going to hatch. And I don't have power. And if I kill these two off, yeah, that was That was bad planning. Well, I have eggs on me. We're 62, 63, 8, 9. Come on. I've got to put you in my trash slots. Oh, that's right. I am requesting them in. So the question is, am I going to get power back before or after all my eggs hatch? You're premature, so you're not too bad to deal with. So we now have some power. So yeah, putting down those additional reactors was probably not the smartest idea. I had to do it sometime. Oh well. I should have done it when these guys were at 1000 C. Or set up to have a whole bunch of steam available. Oops. So we look at this. How many steam turbines do I actually have right now? 56. I need 84. I kind of like the pattern I was doing. So if I grab these, put them in like that. We'll just keep going out until we have more than 84 of them. And then I will delete some. That gives us 88. I need to delete 4 of them. Oh, we got a pattern here. Just do those guys. I think I needed to keep the, oops. I think I needed to keep a power pole off. No, he's covered by him. Okay, don't need this power pole. Get rid of you and you and you. I need one more. I know I've got enough total because I requested in a whole bunch of them. That's 84, including the one that isn't placed yet. There we go. So now if I look at my power, power production can go to 183 megawatts. That's only showing 31 steam turbines, though. Oh, because these steam turbines are not yet hooked up to the power grid. There we go. 481. There we go. So this is a 480 megawatt nuclear reactor. So the reason why I needed more on the top, double on the top, was because, as I mentioned when I put it in, we've got one reactor here giving one reactor's worth of power, and one giving one reactor's worth of power. And they each gain a plus 100% neighbor bonus for being right next to the other guy. So with just the two of them, that was a total of 3 reactors worth. But if you notice in the lower right, now we have 200% neighbor bonus. Plus 200% means 3x. So we went from the equivalent of 3 reactors to the equivalent of 12. Now, if I were to put 2 more in, okay, that wouldn't go up crazy. Okay, it would put in more. What would happen is these guys would go from plus 200% to plus 300%. So we get 1, 2 more. Plus each of these guys would be 3 each. So adding 2 more reactors, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it would add 8 more reactors worth, where this is 3. So each time you add 2 more to this, it will add 8 more reactors worth of these guys. So people actually do, people actually do it's not uncommon to find this kind of layout where you add another extension here. Each extension you add adds a certain set amount. And in this case, if I look at my tileable nuclear that I did here, I've forgotten who originally set this up. The first 6 reactors give you 800 megawatts. And every 6 you add gives you another 960. So that's 800 plus 800 plus the 2 adjacency bonuses that get added from them being side by side for the ones in the middle. And every one of these you add after that is 960. So that's what I did on Nauvis. We probably didn't even need to do this much on Gleba. Now I am going to start thinking about where I'm putting this stuff. So, rocket fuel, launch pads have a belt coming in from some direction. So I need one belt coming into the launch pads with the blue chips and the LDS. We have not done blue chips or LDS anywhere. I only want you connected to here. I don't want you connected to anything else. Let's make sure your power is low. Yes, your production. Whoops. Restarting would have been very difficult. There we go. So this power network is just the solar power here. And this external network, notice the solar went down to 0. So none of that solar is connected to my main power. My main power is just the nuclear turbines. Now I could, in fact, have placed this a little differently. I could make it, there's ways of designing this which would make it more extensible. But I have a bad habit of over-engineering. Won't need it on Gleba. And if I do, it'll be because I'm building a mega base and we'll be building everything from scratch anyway. So what do we need water for? Since that's really going to determine where things, like I said, I've got one belt coming in for this. Rocket fuel can go anywhere because we're taking that by bot. Okay, so now we need the chip fab, which needs sulfuric acid and molten metals. Sulfuric acid is going to need water, and plastic. Plastic is just onto a belt. So plastic comes in next to the chip fab. So plastic feeds chips, sulfuric acid feeds chips, and chips feed. Let's move the rocket fuel. So science and rocket fuel both brought in by that. So you feed him, and you feed him, and you feed him. And LDSs, which I have not put a plan together for. Looking at the chip fab, I notice we have molten copper and molten iron coming across the bottom. We can certainly do our LDS straddling them. LDS also requires plastic. And you'll notice that there is a little tag out there. That's where my planning array got its plastic for the LDS. So that kind of shows you where I'm thinking about putting things in. So, yeah. Oh, we still have a bunch of things that were marked for pickup that are outside. Let's undo those so those don't show red. When things show red, I think they're an enemy, but they also show red if they're to be picked up, and I don't like that. So chip fab here. Yeah, we'll have to use some stuff. So let's see here. Come on. So science we've done. We need to do rocket fuel anywhere. I'm going to put rocket fuel up here just so we have it going now. He needs water from the top. Okay. So let's have rocket fuel be water there, and just put the rocket fuel in like this. Now, rocket fuel's easy. There is a single recipe which takes Bioflux and jelly and water and turns out rocket fuel. Easy, easy peasy. And you need power. I seem to remember your power needs were kind of special. So I am just going to put in substations here surrounding you. Get you going. Get some rocket fuel in the list. What happened to my last substation? We have substations in the network. Oh, and this is Gleba base. Well, I have one on me. There we go. Oh, things are in my inventory count as being in the base, right? So here's what we do. We're requesting in jelly nut, so that the jelly nut can make jelly, and of course we're going to give the seeds back and the bad stuff. I could put the spoilage out on this bus and have it taken care of, but I don't want to saturate the bus. These guys are going to pick up their jelly and their bioflux. Bioflux comes from here. No. No, 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 no. Oh, no. I screwed up the bioflux, didn't I? We need to import bioflux, and this guy needs to take bioflux from this belt, which means we need less of what? Okay, we need less of the nutrients. So you, check mark, nutrients less than 20. We're going to only put 20 out on that belt. I think I'm just going to import the bioflux externally, just like that. So we're going to read all belts here. And this is going to, no wait, no, let's do this sanely. What I want to do is a requester chest that has a, what I want to do is when I don't need some, I reject it. What rate am I using these guys? 96%. Okay, we're not going to reject it. We're just going to enable and disable the inserter. So this inserter says enable if bioflux is less than 50. And I'm going to reduce my bioflux here on the sushi belt to 10. Now, to make sure this all starts out correctly, I'm going to pick up the whole thing. I don't want too many things on my sushi belt for this start. I'm going to build the whole thing like this. You can go away. This is the nutrient that seeds us. So our inputs are bioflux and some nutrient to prime the system. And you're going to get 50 roughly on the bus, 50 plus potentially one extra swing of the knife. Let's set this down to 40. Oh, and actually, I need this to be going onto this guy. There we go. So you go on the correct side of the belt. Let's fix you guys up. belt and start over again. So looking at our rates here, oh, we don't need very much. Okay, so this guy really only needs like 20 anyway. So the outside lane is going to have 20 nutrients and 20 bioflux. Okay, and the inside lane will have 50 jelly, plus or minus a hand swing. And I think I can replace these guys with blues, configured for override stack size of 1. All right, rate's low enough for that per second. I think this guy's going to require a hand swing of 3. There. That'll keep things going. If I do, well, I'm going to try hand swing of 1 and see if we run out. So you're making rocket fuel. We've got 106 of it. We're going to go to 800. That's spacing out the nutrient nicely on the belt. And I think that's probably going to be fast enough on the bioflux here. Oh, 864 per second. I can calculate that. 864 per second is more than twice per second. So we're good. The other way to get this nicely set up would be to actually meter this based on time. Have a little ticker that kicks out a pulse at precisely the right times to keep these guys going. So that would be 1.6 times per second, which would be, if I can bring up my calculator here, 96 times per minute, or every 37.5 ticks. That would not be hard to do. And that would have these evenly spaced out and exactly balanced and yada yada yada, which would work really great until we actually stopped. And we still need the conditions, so there's that. Anyway, that would be similar to the throttle. So there's our rocket fuel. So again, go back to here. I need to place the chip fab somewhere such that I can put my LDS build to the right, which is going to be some foundries. I need to be able to put the sulfuric acid to the right so it can get water. So it's upper right there. And the blue chips are coming out right near the sulfuric acid. I can't point at it with my mouse because that's just, I'll actually do this. So we've got sulfuric acid coming in here or over here. That would work too. We've got blue chips coming out here. These rails are going to be molten metals of various sorts. Plastic needs to go to the south of it. So plastic to the south and sulfuric acid east or west. I think I'm going to just put it out here. Let's put the plastic into the south first. So I'm going to grab the plastic. I'm going to center it here. I think that's got it centered. Yeah. And I'm just freely using landfill. I mean, why not, right? Okay, so plastic. You can also tell that this took me a bit of tinkering to get working right. Bioplastic requires Bioflux and Yamako mash. Okay, so we just simply request in the Bioflux. We need it in big enough quantities. Okay, the quantity there is 1 per second. That's enough for me to justify putting it in a requester box rather than trying to keep it on the sushi belt. I probably should have done that on the rocket fuel too. So the sushi belt here has two things. They're both white, so you kind of have to follow it with your eyes to be able to see the inside lane is nutrients and the outside lane is plastic. Okay? We get the Yamako mash by processing the Yamako, grabbing the nutrients from the sushi belt, and direct inserting into the plastic. I forgot to put efficiency modules in. There. I thought I'd done that to everything. Oh well. And this guy alone needs productivity modules instead. I'm going to trash unrequested to get rid of all of that crap that I no longer need. Okay, so we have our normal nutrients from spoilage here, which is not conditionalized. Okay, we're going to request in spoilage here, but only if we don't see any nutrients. So what'll happen is when this guy has nutrients in it, we'll stop requesting, and if we're not requesting spoilage, he will just deal with it with whatever spoilage he output, and all the nutrients go into here. Once he gets set up, he's making nutrients from Bioflux. Here's the Bioflux. Bada boom. There's a little trick I pull here. I set trash unrequested. Now, which means if we get more than 20 spoilage, it's going to go out. If we get any spoilage at all in here, it'll be pulled out. Now, I'm not sure whether it pulls it out when this is disabled. I keep wanting to say unabled. So, here's our condition. We are putting nutrients on this belt until it's above 50. That goes on the inside lane. And we're feeding ourselves from it. So there's our nutrients. And there's our fruits. And we are ready to go. And we pull all of the plastic off of the belt here. I'm turning it into 2 lanes. Right here, this detects whether a belt is backed up or not. So if this belt is not backed up, then, if this belt is doing, say, it's currently 60 per second is its maximum. If I'm pulling 30 per second out of this belt, actually, if I'm pulling any out of this belt at all, okay, rewind. If I'm consuming more from the belt, at least as much from the belt as is being produced. So if this is not backed up, then it will be whatever I'm producing divided by 2 in these guys. If we get backed up, okay, so if this guy is full, if the guys are all full and we're not pulling enough out of it to make the full stuff go out to here, then we can simply stop making plastic. So we're going to start making plastic when there's less than 8 in here. So if this peels this down to where we're flowing, then we'll start making more plastic. And plastic goes up there. Have I confused you guys as much as I've confused myself? I hope so. Everybody needs to be a little confused now and then. So next thing, that's plastic. I'm going to put the chip fab in next for placement. I want the chip fab to be north of that. I just want it to come right up there. And I want to be able to have access to my metals. And I want the sulfur to be not in the middle of the thingy-me-jigger. I don't think I have any questions in here. We may delete some of our RoboPort stuff. In fact, I'm going to. So we're going to go here. I'm just going to put it right next to it. There we go. We're going to delete you, and we're going to delete you. And I'm even going to delete the landfill areas that you guys were built on. So the one thing I didn't do is I didn't think about how I'm going to get my metals from down there all the way up there. I should have thought about that when I was building all of this. I guess we just run the metal. Oh, do you guys have RoboPort coverage for construction? Yes, you do. You do not have power, because power isn't set up yet. I guess I just have to wait for landfill and such. So I think I can bring my pipes across to here. So up, across to here, then north alongside the cargo area. Okay, so let's bring it south along the cargo area first. And our turn is in here somewhere. Let's pack these close together just for this guy. There we go. I will delete the parts of these that we don't need. I'm going to take it from here. There we go. Iron on the bottom, copper on the top. Come out here, we make the turn. We're headed for here. I kind of like leaving this as a nice solid bar. Okay, so you go away, and you go away, and you guys go away, and this is going to come up to here, like that. Make sure it's copper on the top. Yes, it is. Good. And you go here. And now we have copper and molten copper and molten iron being delivered. We're still waiting on landfill. We're still just blasting the landfill out here. So if you look down at the bottom on Gleba, we have 3,000 landfill that we have to place. Oh, and 10 of these guys, which we may not have. Hello, Mr. Trader. Are we actually importing any of them? I know I turned them off so that we could reduce the load on Fulgora, but I do need some now. I'm going to ask you to bring me 10 from Nauvis. You're on your next trip. Oh, you've got 20. Oh, when I removed this, it didn't download the ones I had. Okay. So when we get there, it should now download it because it's got a request, so we'll want 50 of them. There we go. That's perfect. Now, just for fun, I am going to stop carrying things. And I'm going to see what all this can finish building. So we're still waiting on landfill for all of this. And we're making the landfill as fast as we can. You notice all of the stone is being sucked right up into landfill, and the landfill is being sucked right up into other things. I wonder if I can grab this. I'm just going to say, just keep the tiles. So there's our tiles that we need to have placed. I'm going to create the blueprint, put it here so I can recover the tiles. And this is going to be where to go? This is going to be under here. So you're going to be doing Yamako soil and jelly nut soil and just a bug ton of landfill. Okay. So we save that off. I can place this back down again. Save blueprint. So if I put this down here, it will reestablish all of that. Now, for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get out one of these. And we are going to always remove the tiles. Actually, no, not tiles. What we want to remove is tile ghosts. So if we haven't placed it yet, I want to pause placing them. But not on that area, just on all of that. So we're going to reserve our landfill for building this guy up here. So we've got that. We've got plastic coming in here. You don't have your sulfuric acid yet. Let's build you. Flip you horizontally and look at that. There's our sulfuric acid tank right like that. And we're going to have to get water from somewhere. Oh, gee, where could we get water from? I don't know. I'm going to do that, and we're going to move the tank. I'm going to bring it down to here. There we go. Off by one. plastic. No, not plastic. What am I doing? Sulfuric acid. What I want to do is line up that underground with that guy. Now, if I just use shift on this, it's going to skip putting down anything that's in conflict, and that's absolutely what I want. Let's remove the landfill that we didn't need to put in. Let's grab a pump. Okay, I could put the pump right there by shift clicking, and it will landfill so that the pump can be placed in. Fine by me. That's already connected. I am going to come out here and put in power poles. Why are you not bringing that last power pole? What is going on? Builder bots, come on. You've got one thing to build. You've got one thing to build. Two things to build. One thing to build. Have we completely run out of it? We've completely run out of medium electric poles. I don't believe this. Here we go. Okay, so this is now built. I do need to put in logistic coverage for those guys. And I think I'm just going to put it in right here. So how does this work? Down here we have our normal nutrients from spoilage, which is enabled if we have no nutrients here. I have no way of getting nutrients out of there, so that's a bug in the blueprint. There we go. This guy shouldn't have any spoilage, but if he does, it comes out there. You only see this guy. This guy takes bioflux in. This guy puts out nutrients and grabs some. Nutrients are on the outside lane. And you have nowhere to put your spoilage. What was I doing here? Okay. So these guys, they require spoilage and bioflux. Here they are requesting in spoilage. They'll take any spoilage that appears on this belt. We'll also take spoilage off here. So those will help drain the belt, but mainly they're getting the spoilage in from the requester chests. They output some spoilage from time to time, which will augment their inputs. And these produce sulfur from spoilage and bioflux. And they request in the bioflux and the spoilage. That's cool. Very simple. So bioflux and spoilage in. Any spoilage I have gets put back. Nutrients, any spoilage from the nutrient line will help. Sulfur goes out to here, and this guy produces sulfuric acid in quantities big enough to produce blue chips, we hope. So if we've done this right, I have molten copper and molten iron. I have plastic, so those will go to make the low density structures. And we will have red chips provided and green chips provided. And I think I am going to grab you guys, and I'm going to say parameter I'm going to, any coils we have also at the end of the line, just going to go in there. These will fill up to a complete box full, but it only happens after we've had our chance to pull it off to make red chips. So that's fine. So off to the right here. Now we are just fully using landfill now. Have I requested in landfill, and do I have it? I do have it. Okay. So let's grab the foundries. I'm going to need a foundry up here. I'm going to put it like this so that we have plastic coming in from the south and our metals coming in from the south. And you are making LDS. So, how much of this are we making? This guy can make, per minute, 66 blue chips a minute. How much fuel are we making? Rocket fuel. Hello, where did I do the rocket fuel? I've lost my rocket fuel. There it is. I set up rocket fuel to make 72. We really only need 45 for our guys down here. We can, oh no, not down there. When we place our rocket silos, 4 rocket silos requires 48 per minute at the productivity level I'm using. So I'm aiming for somewhere in the 50 to 100 range. You're producing 32. Let's put 3 of you guys down. Okay. And you are going to go across like that. Okay. You are iron, so you're going to go to here and to here. And you are copper, you go to there. And you bring in the plastic. And you bring in the power. And your LDS is going out the north. Yeah. Document you. And you get power. Okay, there is our blue chip output. I'm going to bring this guy in like this, and you're going to put your LDS on the bottom. Actually, let's make absolutely sure that no matter how this is designed, we've got one on each side. There we go. And we do need Roboport coverage on the right. I'm just going to put you here. And you need power. Okay, so power and power. Look at this whole thing. This says we're producing 66 processing units per minute. That's great. We have 380 per minute excess green chips, 30 per minute excess red chips and 4.48 per minute. Yeah, not a whole lot of extra coils. That's all right. But there's our wire line. And now, finally, actually, we're not making bad time. I need to have the launch pads placed here. Now, we are not actually making rocket silos anywhere. And I am not anxious to automate the production of all of the parts that go into the rocket silos. What I will do is I will import anything that's not easy to make. If it's easy to make, I'll make it. If it's not easy to make, then we'll import it. So we're going to go back here to the one thingy here. I'm going to just put it in right here. It needs to have power somewhere. Hey, we got power here. You are making rocket silos. I'm going to keep one in stock. Oh, you require blue chips, don't you? If I move you guys south by one, I can get my blue chips from there. So we're going to be importing steel and concrete. I believe we have steel and concrete available. Each landing pad is going to need 25 steel, so if we've got 100 steel, we're done with steel. We have 100 steel. Concrete, we are going to need 200 concrete per pad. We need a total of 800. We currently have 22 on the way. Are we making concrete somewhere? We are making concrete somewhere, right? Right here. Going to increase my concrete build. In fact, let's get rid of all of these undergrounds. So concrete requires iron ore. I'm not currently placing iron ore in, but if you'll notice, I do have like 5,800 iron ore that I've gotten from just harvesting the bacteria that I found in the world. So I'm not going to automate that. If we keep expanding our territory here, expanding our number of rocket silos, and we find that we are running short on copper, on iron ore to make the concrete, to make the silos, I will go down over here and I will somehow arrange to have excess copper provided to me. And it may be that we just drag it out of here. These guys actually build up quite a stock. Oh, that's because these are, okay, we're requesting 500 iron ore in because we had a bunch. So we actually haven't run any of the bacteria in a while because we have so much stock of copper and iron ore from other things. But we're all set to do it, and we've tested it. So now it's a matter of waiting for one or more rocket silos to be completed. You are mainly waiting on concrete. Fine. How about I add concrete to my list of imports? Is it viable to import concrete? So concrete is 100 per rocket. So I could ask for 200 concrete here, and that wouldn't be bad. We're still waiting at Nauvis. We're waiting on iron plate, and now we're waiting on concrete. So timing perfect. So we've automated concrete and we're importing it. And by the time this lands, this will have all the concrete we need to polish things off. I bet it's going to be 200 more concrete. So that's a landing pad's worth of concrete right there. I didn't beacon all you guys for efficiency. You're beacon for production. That's fine. productivity beacons in these cause them to be balanced out neatly. I'm not worried about my stocks of iron and copper right now. I could efficiency you guys. Yeah, let's do that. And you. That'll reduce power needs. Oh, bad boy, bad boy. Efficiency all of these guys. Let's do all of them. And you. And you. I'm going to switch you guys over to efficiency. Since you're now maintaining full boxes of stone. Oh, we now have a ton of landfill available. Well, we got 42 in storage. Okay, so we've got 4,500 land. Oh, because I picked all that stuff up, it immediately, yeah, okay, so we're good to put our blueprint back down that places all of this stuff. There we are. So put you down, so we're now placing all that soil and landfill and everything again. Got 100 concrete. What's going on here? Oh, we have one. We have one in the logistics network. Why isn't it being placed? Because I made a cargo landing pad. Oh, fudge. Okay, let's make the right thing this time. You are making a rocket silo. I clicked by one. Rocket silo. I thought that recipe list was a little easy. Okay, so you do need some of that stuff, so you are taking processing units from the bus. No need to have processing units come in. We need electric engine units. And I'm going to need a total of 800 electric engine units. I'm not going to make electric engine units here. We are going to bring them in on the trader. So EUs, I'm going to be 200 per trip. What else do I need that I don't have? We've got electric engine units. We've got concrete being imported. We've got steel being made. We've got pipe being made. So it's just these guys. Rocket capacity is 400. So we're going to be getting 400 at a time. That's fine. What if I just say, yo, trader, we're going to just this once ask for 400, actually 800. Ask 800 electric engine units. Oh, 400, 400. Now let's get all of them. Now, back on Nauvis, how are we doing for electric engine units? We have that much in stock. Okay. Where are we making them? Electric engine units are being made here. And they're being pulled out here. So I should have 2,000 electric engine units in stock here. Why did I think I only had a small number of them? Yeah, we have 2,000. Okay, so we got more than enough. So Gleba Trader, you are waiting on being able to go because you don't have quite enough fuel. That's okay. We'll just wait. I'm going to get these green thingies in on the Gleba Trader. Since your next stop is Nauvis, you can just put those in. Oh, you have some. Cool. And do you have lamps? You have lamps locally. I can just put those in. You don't have lamps, and you're not going back to Nauvis anytime soon. But if I do that, let's request lamps from Nauvis specifically. So when you get to Nauvis, you'll fill the lamps. Later on, I'll have to come back and take the lamps away. Someday you'll go get the lamps. So we're waiting on electric engines. I'm just going to fast forward until we got our electric engines. I'm impatient. Plenty in stock. And we are low on fuel. So I probably should slow down the trader a little bit since he's waiting on fuel. So I'm going to take this down from 100 to 90. So he will move a little more slowly, but he'll have more fuel left when he gets to the other end. And it'll take a couple of round trips for that to work itself out. Okay, we got one rocket silo. Yay! Turn off automatic requests for now. So we're not actually exporting anything quite yet. So Gleba Trader is waiting in orbit for its production to finish. Yeah, it's got to top up its fuel. Even though I reduced the fuel flow rate, that wasn't in time for that run. You're waiting on more electric engine units, which are slowly being delivered. Give me all your electric engine units. And let's also boost the amount of steel plate we're actually asking for. There we go, 1,000 steel plate. What else is high quantity? The concrete. We're going to go ahead and request all 1,000 concrete. Yo, trader. This is 100 per rocket. I'm going to be requesting 1,000 of these in. I think we're done requesting motors. I'm going to bring this down to 50. So we launched with 20k fuel. And we are slightly fuel negative. Currently moving 106 kilometers a second. We can reduce our throttle even further. Yeah. Okay, well that brought our stocks up neatly. I need to drop some things that I'm no longer requesting when I get to Gleba. Let's load the steel and the copper into our orbital drop slots, ready to go. And anything else that we're making on Gleba that I don't really need to have in my inventory, I'm going to go ahead and drop. We are paused on Gleba. We're making the pipes. We are making the copper. We're making the green and red and blue chips now, so we don't need to be importing those anymore. I think that's everything that we have ramped up. And you can go when you have brought your fuel back up. Okay, we now have all of our thingies here. So I am going to, I'm just going to reduce you to 0. In fact, I'm just going to get rid of you. I'm not planning on making additional rockets on Gleba, at least for a while. And if I do, I can then worry about making rocket silos. So what have we got going here? We've got enough parts to build rockets. Okay, and we in fact are building them. We are making science somewhere. Keep forgetting where I'm making science. Here we are. So science is off in a corner here, where we can take care of any eggs that are going crazy. Let's take a look at our science rates. Science has been holding steady at 177 a minute for almost an hour. Yay! So we're going to come over here, and I'm going to set up something very specific. I am going to, first off, I'm going to arrange to get rid of science that is in excess of quantities required. Now, I believe we cannot recycle, we cannot burn science. I think we can recycle it. So I'm going to grab that. Let's go look at what it recycles into. If it recycles into an egg, I will be shocked and surprised. Yeah, we have a whole bunch of excess science here. So apparently agricultural science recycles into less agricultural science, which is perfect. And I didn't notice what rate it was managing. What I want to do is I want to have agricultural science buffered up here. Okay, each one of these is going to be requesting basically it's going to be requesting a lot of agricultural science, and we're going to get rid of the low parts. Actually, let's just do one of them. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to put it here. Agricultural science has a stack size of 200. So it's going to be 2,000 per row. 8,000 will fill the box. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to say use filters agricultural science. And we're going to take the spoiled first. I'm going to put it out on a belt. Just like that. And now we are going to start scrapping. There's our recyclers. Just like that. Hello, I've only got 5 recyclers total on me at all, anywhere. What's going on? Why have I only got 5 recyclers? Recyclers are in 103. I need to get more recyclers in. Wonderful. So for now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do that much. And you guys actually are going to need to have a... Yeah, there you go. Now this means that, how fast can I chew on this? 240 a minute, I could chew it out. And these guys are making, I need to be able to recycle faster than I'm making. $180, so I am doing faster than I'm making. Okay, so that will eventually catch up. Now, what do these decay into when they decay? I think they decay into spoilage, normal spoilage. Okay. So these need to be filtered to be picking up the science. Oh, do I need to get spoilage out of the... I probably need to get spoilage out of these guys, too. Wait, no, if they get spoilage... If they get spoilage, it'll just toss the spoilage back and forth, won't it? What if they have both of them? I don't know what happens if I get spoilage in these guys. Okay, trader, you. I need to be importing at least a small number of recyclers. Recyclers are 10 to a rocket. We're going to get 10 of them. And we are importing from Nauvis. Okay, so when we get more, we are going to go out to that many just to get way ahead of the game. Actually, no, let's take this. Oh, we got more. How about that? Works for me. I kind of like the holes. So recycling old science, we've got new science, we're going to be taking science back. So hey, Science Express, I guess I can start feeding you science. Before I do that though, I need to rework Nauvis to be able to handle science that spoils. Oh boy! Okay, now, what do I need to export from here? If I start exporting biochambers, that'll work. I may need a second one of these to make biochambers faster. You can produce 9 per minute biochambers. Okay. So let's see if I can build no. Start with you. I'm going to grab all the way out through here, flip vertically, and in there. Okay, so now I just need to arrange to have some biochambers to recycle. Oh, and we need some more steel boxes. Now if I put a few biochambers each one of these, that'll work. One way I could do that would be to make these requester chests. So this needs to be a requester with a red line to here with the quantity. upgraded in place. Request from buffer chests. I'm going to request in just one biochamber. So if we don't have any, we'll get one. And it'll request another one and another one and another one as we need them. And that will seed all of these guys. So that's my first real change to that recipe, to that blueprint, is to make this a requester chest, so we always have one. If we've got any at all in our build area, we can guarantee that we have one. And you notice I didn't have to go out and get any eggs. These guys now all together are producing 36 biochambers per minute. So we can export biochambers. So we're going to go into the trader, and here I'm going to add biochambers. Rocket capacity is 20. I'm going to export a rocket load of those each trip. That will get biochambers back to Nauvis. Second machine I can do is I can export these guys. This normally does 7.5 a minute. Rotate you, put you in like that. That's 15. That's 30 a minute of those guys. And currently they're set to only have 2 in stock. I'm going to set this to have 40 in stock. A rocket load is 20. Just like that. Now you are waiting on a whole bunch of inputs. Oh, these guys need, yeah. So we can export those later. I won't set them up yet to export, but I will put a marker in for them. Rocket load is 20. We'll be doing 20 per trip. The other thing we can build here is heating towers. These are great for incinerating things. It's a great way to get rid of any stuff that we want to get rid of elsewhere that's burnable. I am thinking that this might be the best way to get rid of spoilage on Nauvis. The other way we can get rid of spoilage on Nauvis is recycle it. But let's have heating towers available if we want to use them. Now we're going to come over here. Not here, but here. And you are going to keep going until you have 100 in stock. Oh, I didn't fix the rest of those. Okay, we need to put this back down with the blueprint then. And these guys too. This is recipe. Yeah, let's just build the blueprints properly now. Okay. So starting here. Actually, I start here, I can build downward. These really can go anywhere. This is like got the lava going right through the middle of it though. So let's choose somewhere else to be our land. This is going to be building stuff, building the other stuff for export. So starting from here, this guy is building agricultural towers, I'm going to have 100 of them in stock. Six is a good number. It fills in that area. Over here, I am going to start from here, and you are building heating towers. And again, we're going to do 100 in stock. There we go. Now run this forward until we figure out what we're short on. I think we're not really short on anything for these guys. They're all just running. 70, 52. Yeah, we're good. Apparently, these are enough to keep us happy, or we had stock. So we can now export these guys. Agricultural towers are 20 per rocket, so that's a good number. And heating towers are 10 per rocket. I'm going to go with 10. Oh, let's go with 20. Oh, wait a minute. Can we construct those elsewhere? What do these need to be constructed? These need bog standard stuff. I can probably create these on Nauvis. Let's see, can I? Yes, I can, and I do not need very many of them. We'll put 100 in stock. That's so much easier than building them on Gleba. Okay, and clearly I don't need all that many of these. So I'm just going to take you, put you back down here where I was building you originally. You're still going to be set to 100, but that's okay. So our exports are science and biochambers and these guys, ag labs. These will be useful on Nauvis for planting trees someday. Not that it's anything in the near future, but I figured, yeah, we're making them here. Let's do them. I really want to not start exporting science until we have come to steady state on this, which means this has to come down to where we're no longer taking it out. I think I need to do even more of these. Okay, so we're going to grab from here down to here. I'm going to keep going until I run out of stuff. Okay, we're not out of stuff yet. Logistics. Okay, we are actually out of recyclers at this point. So let's kill off this much. There we go. So these guys are capable of consuming 1,320. They're going to produce 330 that go into the top one. I could have these outputting onto a belt that just goes back onto this. There. And we have caught up. I think we only need this much. But I'm going to go extra. I'm going to do 4 of them, 5 of them. Hold on, what can I cover with these power poles? Go there and there. There we go. Oops, that's not going to work. There. Actually, that would work. There we go. Oh, if we get a big dump of it, this would still have problems there. We'll just use this. And I am going to, I think, no, I don't have room here for the curvy one unless I move everything around. Now these guys are actually emptying everything, and I don't want to be doing that anymore. So we're going to connect those up. And we're going to say enable if the amount of science is greater than 1,000. There we go. So now this should be building up 1,000 science, which is exactly 1 rocket load. Actually, what I want to be doing is even less than that. I want the Science Express to be waiting here as it gets filled. So really, this needs to be 2 stacks. So if we are over 400. Okay, so that means we'll get 2 stacks, and when the 3rd stack starts, we'll start grabbing the oldest stuff out of here. So we'll always have 1 stack that's ultra fresh, 1 stack that's building, and 1 stack that's depleting, I think. Okay, so we can turn on automatic requests all over the place. And notice our first load going back is depleted uranium fuel cells. Oh boy! Yeah, the power guy's going to get a lot of rockets to him. Here we go. Oh, I wonder if I need to build up 1,000 in here before it will allow this to pick up any at all. Not to fill 1 rocket. Well, it's available on planet is going up So it's not actually requesting any in. So we do need to have this be above 1,000. So, okay. So we're going to go to 6 stacks. So we will be able to fill the rocket from here. That way the rocket will be able to go. What are you exporting? Nothing yet. You're just ready to go. Cool. Apparently we didn't have a whole lot of spent uranium fuel. What have we got here? We've loaded up 90 of it, and there is 6 on the ground. When we get another 10, it'll load up another 10. It keeps loading 10 at a time, but he's not going to leave until he has dropped all of his fuel. Are we good here? Almost, almost, almost. So Science Express, on the way 1,000. We're only doing 1,000 at a time. And you're going to go back to Nauvis. We need to go back to Nauvis right now and get things going. Carry around base off. Get all my stuff gone. Thank you. Because I need to head up to the taxi and go back to Nauvis. We need a science lab area that can handle the fact that Gleba science will decay in the labs. And we also want to eventually get to where we've researched the better labs. I don't know whether that is... that's actually probably our #1 research that we want. Let's see if I can find them. Let's see. Biolabs here. Oh, those require biter eggs. Okay, so this requires captivity, biter eggs. Yeah, okay, well that's my line then. So you and you. Oh, we research captivity and then we capture this and then I can make it. Okay, so we're going to research the captivity first. So our first research of science will get us the better. We may not have to worry about decay of novice science quite yet. Hey, would you please take me back to Nauvis? I'm going to add a circuit condition here. You're ready to go. Boom. And when we get there, please drop me. Why am I going slow? I don't need to go slow. Accelerate time. Now Gleba Express is sitting here and it has downloaded all of its science. So we now have 1,000 Gleba science sitting on Nauvis ready to go. So we did the Gleba science thing. And notice we have already got research going into captivity because we had it going in. Now what happens is if the Gleba science decays in one of these labs, it will not be passed on down the chain. So every one of these has to have a way of putting the bad stuff. Or we can do it manually for now until we get the better labs. So captivity, this says we are expecting this in 3 minutes, 42 seconds. What do we need? We need capture bot. Oh, I need to export Bioflux from Gleba. Oh, goodness. The rest of this stuff we've got locally. Let's go back to Gleba. Well, we're not going to go back to Gleba. Let's go look at Gleba. And I need to make sure I have Bioflux being produced in quantity. Now, these guys are aimed at doing these. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another bank of you guys somewhere. So let's get you, I'm going to say, snap to grid so I can tile you a bit. And I am just going to go up here somewhere. Okay, so we've got all you guys. You're going to be sequestering some, yeah, I didn't need these little thingies that I added at the bottom for nutrients, but that's okay. Let's check something. Bioflux decays in 2 hours, so I can bring it back via the normal trader, I think. Bioflux. Where did I put the Bioflux? Here. Bioflux is 1,000 per rocket. So I'm going to say 200, so I have less than 200, I'm going to get a rocket full. And when I get to Nauvis, I'll say, a load is 200, and it's going to want 1,000, so I'm going to download all the rocket full. Oh, this does need yeah, okay. Yeah, this is going to need an express. Oh, I already have one of those. Okay, well. There. Add space platform. Actually, no. I'm going to get you. I'm going to edit your name. Okay, add space platform with a similar name. But this is... Oh, come on. Bioflux. Create. So we're going to need Bioflux. But once we have the Bioflux, we just come up here, and our thingy that we are building is the not rocket turret, the capture thingy. Capture thingy that we haven't unlocked yet. Here it is, capture bot rockets. And I'm going to stock 100 of those. Why not? Okay, our new thingy is set up. So you're the same thing, but you're actually going to be doing a load of Bioflux. So 1,000 Bioflux. You're going to go to Gleba to pick it up. And you're going to go to Nauvis to drop it off. Item count, Bioflux is equal to 0. And we are not unloading on Gleba, we're just picking up stuff on Gleba. I can actually hit that. It's not going to have the check mark until it is actually completely ready to go, right? All requests satisfied, so we have no requests for construction and none of the rest of this, and everything ready to go. That comes from Gleba. I can start this going. So you'll start bringing me Bioflux as quickly as possible. I want the trips. Well, I guess the only thing I really want is I don't want to be having a stock of Bioflux on my trader where I download a little bit of it at a time, because it carries the Bioflux back and forth, and eventually it decays, and that's crappy. So this guy is not really express, it's just hauler. Let's put a marker on this guy until we're sure it works. This guy is going good, I can get rid of him. This guy is doing the right thing, I can get rid of him and him. I suppose I can get rid of the trader. I don't need to go directly to the trader. There. Captivity. This is stopped researching captivity. Let's make sure we are not clogged with decay products. Where am I going? Going the wrong way. You guys are still actually running. Oh, okay, we just got a load of science in. Okay, that's cool. So probably what happened was we got a bunch of science in. We started researching captivity, which needed 1,000, but the Gleba science was not 100% fresh. So it got a fraction of it done. And that fraction is how much ever it wasn't fresh by. But that's okay. Well, we're going to be counting on that. So we need to make sure that Gleba Science is always producing a little bit extra. That's okay. We're doing that. And this guy right here. So as soon as you start making stuff, we're good. You don't have any Bioflux yet because we are still building you. There's your engines. You're waiting on some efficiency modules and some pipes. That's all good. Yay, we have researched captivity. We can't make one yet because we don't have any Bioflux. Is there anything I want to make while I'm waiting for more of this? We could do tree seeding since we're getting that stuff. Carbon fiber has some interesting things we can build, like stack inserters. Ooh. Okay, this is where I've exceeded previous timelines. Okay. Remember way back where I got some comments and I said, oh no, I'm like 40 episodes in the future, and I rewound it as a new timeline? I hadn't gotten this far. This is all new stuff. So carbon fiber opens up rocket turrets, which are going to be necessary to get to a kilo, but they're also necessary for spidertrons, which allow me to have a remote presence. Then there's stack inserters, where the bulk inserters put things on the belt, and when they're on the belt, they're one thing. Well, stack inserters, when you put something on the belt, you put in a bunch of them at once. And these guys wait for their hand to be full, and they swing, and they put a whole stack on the bus. Increases the height. Increases the height. So this is really super cool. So what else do I want to get going here? Health, meh. Efficiency module 3's advanced asteroid processing gets us the asteroid recipes that provide calcite. Well, excuse me. This guy produces copper along with iron. This guy produces sulfur along with carbon. And this produces calcite along with oxides. So we can get more things on our platforms, which means we can build better ammunition. And we could actually build a platform that just cruises around capturing a whole bunch of fucking calcite and loading it down from somewhere, so we don't need to have Vulcanists launching the calcite. And you just build more of those platforms, you get more calcite. Now, advanced thruster fuel and advanced thruster oxidizer. I have never looked at this, but I imagine it is much more efficient, but it does require calcite. That's great. We're going to redesign a ship with this. Super, super cool stuff. Health, meh. Carbon fiber opens up all of this stuff. Plastic bar productivity, so we can make plastic bars better. And we can open up epic quality, which is quality level 4. We've got 1, which is base. We've got uncommon. We've got rare. This opens up epic. And I'm not really too worried about quality until we're ready to go legendary, and then I'll start thinking about what legendaries I want. I do need to build some higher quality items. We're going to need to be gathering a lot more asteroids, so we want the asteroid grabbers to be high quality. We want our turrets to be higher quality so they can shoot further, and so on. So plastic and rocket fuel productivity that will help us launch things. These are infinites. And tree seeding. Collect tree seeds. And then down here, fish breeding. So you can do legendary fish. So cool. Legendary fish mean you can make legendary Spidertrons. Anyway, we are mostly going down to here. Asteroid productivity. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to aim at better asteroid stuff for now. So advanced asteroid mining. So that will chew up 2,000 divided by our productivity of hue. And then we're going to go to asteroid productivity, which you're going to get more. Well, yeah, I'm going to get this so I can start messing around with it. We don't need to go for you yet. I do want the stack inserters. Let's go carbon fiber and stack inserters first, because this is just exploration. And anything else that this unlocks? Yeah, let's go for here. Okay, so those are our next few things. And I am waiting. Come on. Finish up. The efficiency modules are always the last thing it requests. Are we done? We're just waiting on iron plate so we can leave. Okay, now we are waiting on making our provisions, which means fuel and ammunition. Why am I? Oh, all of the ammunition right now is going out onto the big belt. That's perfect. Okay, we now know how to make carbon fiber. Well, do we? Do we really? So we need carbon and Yamako mash to make carbon fiber, and that is best done over on Gleba. So I'm going to need a recipe that makes Yamako mash. I think I have a number of little thingy-bobbers. Okay, so something like this, except carbon fiber up here. I'm going to grab this whole thing out to here. I'm going to bring it into a play area. Get you all centered up. Good enough. Difference is you are going to be making carbon fiber. And I might as well set these all up to be exactly the same thing. So carbon fiber. I believe it's exactly the same recipe. So, oh, you need carbon input. So instead of this, you are bringing in carbon. There we go. And we actually don't have any carbon. Well, why don't we have carbon? Because we need to put down one of these machines turning spoilage into carbon. So let's put it down over here. Now if I do Alt-X over all of this, this says I need 4 more machines making this guy. Spoilage, nutrients. I suppose I could just do this. Just like that. We'll work it from here. You're making carbon. Your output is carbon. There we go. And we'll just tap into all the extra nutrients and spoilage and such that are hanging around. These guys need to have their conditions set to carbon fiber, don't they? Yep. Okay. Oh, you are outputting these. Knuckle mash, outputting carbon. These filters are set wrong. I probably should have just adjusted the recipe itself. Yeah, I should have edited the recipe as a parameter rather than going through all of this. I do need to find out where the carbon fiber thingy is on here. Just not seeing it. It's not down in this stuff. Not going to be on there. There it is. And now the left-hand side of this needs to be set to carbon fiber. And that gives me a belt of carbon fiber. Grab you. Boom. This is the way I should have done the original one. There. Trash unrequested. You're requesting in fiber, you're building up fiber, you're producing a belt of fiber. Be happy. Now this is producing a total of 108 fiber per minute, which means I think I can export carbon fiber here. Carbon fiber is 500 per rocket, so I'm going to do 100. So we have under 100, we're going to get 500 in, we're going to go deliver, we're going to deliver all 500, we're going to come back and fill it back up with 500, and then we will continue to spit it out a little bit at a time until it gets below 100, and we'll get another 500 and so on. So there we go. Now you are waiting on recyclers, which are slowly available. We still have Fulgora to go back to and fix up. You are making, but you need Bioflux. How's Bioflux Express coming? You're on Gleba. You're automatic. You're ready to go. You're not in a logistic. Oh, you're ready to go. I need to prime your engines. There we go. You're actually on Nauvis. You're heading to Gleba now to go pick up Bioflux. Yay! Bring back that Bioflux. Actually, I'm going to leave a bookmark here on the trader as well, so you can monitor what he's doing. We haven't picked up any carbon fiber yet. Oh, it's Fulgora Trader. Okay. Well, we'll want to monitor Fulgora Trader anyway. Gleba Trader. Got the stuff. Heading to Gleba to pick up carbon fiber. I'm going to change his name so they don't have the ... dots there. So he's my bio cart. There we go. And actually, he doesn't need to have Gleba in his name, does he? But we can call him Express. Patient. Requesting from Gleba on the way 1,000. Available on planet some variable number which tends to go up and down. Fine with me. This may be more than I need. In fact, I'm sure of it. Well, let's do 200. That's still going to get us a rocket load. Doesn't really matter because this guy empties it at Nauvis. But at least I can document that I'm not actually requiring all that much. I'm waiting on stuff. Stuff and things. You are waiting on boilers. Interesting. Let's put in some boilers. Where did you go? Right at the beginning of it. Of course it's the beginning of it. What do you have available? You've got all of this stuff available. I'm not going to worry about it until we are out of it. There we go. Now we are making incinerators. I'm going to turn on my base carry. Don't need this blueprint anymore. And I am going to go into my defense area, and that's where I'm going to put in, requesting in the capture bots. Now, I think these guys require a rocket launcher. Is that right? I'm pretty sure. So let's turn on defense, and I'm going to request in one rocket launcher. Of which I have none. Okay, well that's okay. We'll go here, and what do I need to do to make one? Oh, I've got the materials for it already. One rocket launcher. And my personal carry stuff is too small. Too many things. Too much things. Let's turn off the rails. Turn those back on when we get to Fulgora. We'll turn down the walls. 2,000 walls away when I'm making new wall areas. Ditto lasers. Ditto Tesla turrets. I'm going to need lasers. So, when I'm capturing a spawner, I need to kill all the bugs but not kill the spawners, which means I can't use my shoulder lasers because they'll just attack everything. I can't use Tesla turrets because they will target the target the appropriate things, but then it bounces onto the spawners. Don't want that. I do need to carry a whole bunch of iron because I'm going to place iron pipes. So I need iron pipes. What else have I got a whole bunch of that I don't want? These guys, I only want one stack of. Pipes will need excess of pipe to ground. I think I need to keep those where they are. I don't need to carry. In general, I don't need to carry these. I can turn them back up when I'm rebuilding the petroleum areas. So what else am I carrying multiple stacks of that I don't need multiple stacks of? Well, I don't need 200 robots. But that's because I got 100 in defense, 100 carry around base, and I don't want to mess that up. Electromagnetic plants. We are running low on those because, well, Fulgora. One stack of foundries. I'm carrying extra repair packs in my defensive area. That's okay. I think that's good. Now I'm going to add in a whole bunch more pipe. I'm going to add 1,000 pipe in. I think what I'm going to do is use pipes to prevent the spawners from spawning biters, if I can. Maybe? No, let's not. Let's not worry about it. Big electric poles. I do need 250 of those in excess. That's excessive. Let's leash these back. We're not going to be going long distances to do what we're going to be doing. We're still waiting for the capture bots. Hello. You, oh. That's because our landing pad isn't requesting down the bioflux. So we need to go here, add section, and there is a bioflux load. So I need to request in 5 loads of bioflux. Now we go back to the Express, and it downloaded the whole thing, and it's now going back to get some new. Now this is going to wait in orbit with a load of bioflux that is going to be aging. So we need to set this up to be sure that you are requesting in any bad stuff. So we are going to be doing a new thing called, where do you go? Spoilage. Clean. And this is going to be 1,000 spoilage times 10. So in theory, I could have a platform that picks up 1,000 spoilage from somewhere. I'm not going to do that, but in theory I could. And here we're going to say get 10,000 of them down. So if we are not using, if we're getting bioflux in and we're not using it in quantity here, the problem is we're going to be getting bioflux in that is old if it sits there in orbit waiting to be sent to us. What I'd really like is for the, for this to only go get it if we're going to need it when it gets back, just in time delivery. Fortunately, bioflux does hang out for 2 hours, so it's not a big thing. So we now have 8 rockets. Let's wait until we have the requested number of rockets. 10 rockets. 9, 10. Okay. Let's go capture us a spawner. Whee! Does our logistics network go all the way up to the wall? Yes, it does. So, yeah. Now, in order to do this, what I'm going to need to do is put down a whole bunch of laser turrets. Actually, I only need one of these. I'm not building a kill everything on. Let's see, lasers. This is not for demolishers, so I don't need to have 2 of these wide, but I am going to do a whole bunch of these. And these are all going to be target priorities. These are killing all of the things that we might be seeing here. Spitter, 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 bigger spitters, small worms, medium worms, big worms, behemoth worms. We do not want to be killing these guys. And I'm going to lay these out row-wise. Just so I can glance at them and see what's going on. I think these are reversed. Big worms, behemoth worms. There we go. Ignore unlisted targets. So these will not shoot at the spawners. Great blueprint. There we go. Now this guy has 27 lasers in it. It's not going to go very far, is it? There. So I'll have more lasers coming at me from the south. Now we want to bring our logistics area up there. I'm going to bait you back. Oh, we need to... do that. Don't stand in the goop. No problem. I didn't dismount my shoulder lasers. Oh well. We still got 3 of them. We're going to capture 3 of them. We are going to make sure that our logistics network covers all of this. Okay. And once we've captured it, we need to provide it with bioflux. And we need to take out biter eggs. So you are requesting in bioflux. I'm going to go ahead and request in 100. I should have thought of this earlier. And anything you produce comes out like that. And no, I do not know how long it takes for these things to be very, very unhappy, but apparently they spawn bad things when they get unhappy. There. Bioflux is... Oh, I don't have Bioflux available. Hold on. Okay, we need to be not building things with Bioflux until I get another load of Bioflux in. You are waiting on iron plate. You're going to go get more. Okay, we do have some Bioflux. I'm not really an expert on how this works. I do know these turn out biter eggs, which are now going back down into my base here, and I need to be dealing with them properly. I'm not ready for this. I didn't think about the biter eggs. Oh no. Okay, so down here somewhere. You are going to be right here. You are going to be requesting in all of my biter eggs, because I didn't think about this at all. Apparently we've got a lot of them coming in now. Oh, okay, so they're all going to come here. We've got plenty of Tesla cannons around this, ready to shoot the biters as they come out. They are going to come out in groups. There. Cool. We have biter eggs. We have a lot of biter eggs. What can I do with biter eggs? We can ship them back to Fulgora to make overgrowth soil, which is very important. We can make them into nutrients. So this is probably the best way to get rid of them right now, is to make them into nutrients and then get rid of the nutrients. We can also make biolabs. That's the important thing that I want to do right now, is make the biolabs. I'm going to do that right here, in case for some reason my biolabs have a problem. Biolabs are not yet researched. I thought I had those next up. Oh, that's right. I couldn't queue the research yet. Actually, I don't want to do 100 of. Well, no. Let's let that go to 100. Why not? Biolabs might be a good way to tie up our biter eggs. Okay, so now, agricultural science packs, we've got this. We can now research the biolabs and the overgrowth soil. So So Biolabs are going to require 1,000 science, so that should be quick. So at our current research rate, it's 5 minutes. I can increase my game speed. It's not actually X16, it's from 60 UPS to, it's like X5. So maybe a minute. I'm going to put a biolab on my hotbar here. And we're going to see if we can build something like this. So biolabs, we need inputs of each of our sciences. Okay. And we need an output somewhere. So you are going to be trashing unrequested and question buffer chests. I'm going to do one of these for each science. So we're going to start off with red science, 1 stack of red. And this guy is going to be filtered. Use filters, red. I am going to put a substation in on this corner. You make a blueprint there and there. Formula is B0 stack size. Red, green, military, chemical, production, utility, space, metallurgic, agricultural, and electromagnetic. Now you have a science pack drain of 50%, which means the science goes twice as far. I need to get rid of Nauvis landing pad, and there we go. Research speed is 7, so half as much science being consumed, and speed 7 instead of speed 3.5, so it's already twice as much science output. Oh, and I almost forgot, we do need to drain some stuff, so it isn't going to be this square, unfortunately, unless I start doubling up on some of the sciences. I'd rather have just one kind per thingy. So we can come down from the top here on cryo science packs and Promethean science packs, which we don't have yet. But I need something taking out spoilage. There we go. And this just goes into a purple box. There's my blueprint. I'm going to put this in Gleba blueprints just because it doesn't unlock until we have Gleba, even though we make it on Nauvis. Okay, we need another load of science. I suppose I need to watch my Gleba Science Express here. And you are waiting until you have refueled yourself. I'm wondering if maybe this particular one, we're going to wait on maximum fuel around Fulgora, or around Nauvis, and lower this condition for us out here. Yeah, let's do that. So around Nauvis, we're going to wait until we're 0, add weight condition, circuit condition, thruster fuel is greater than 24,000, and thruster oxidizer greater than 24,000. So we're going to wait on Nauvis until we have almost full fuel. But in order to get a quick getaway from Gleba, I'm going to lower these to 10,000. So when we have our stuff ready to go on Gleba, we're ready to go. Now that's just him. So looking at the shape of that, I think we could double the amount of science we bring back and load. Are you building up? You should be building up and destroying science regularly at this point. Yeah, what if I set this 2.2K and go to my Gleba Express, my Gleba Science Express. I'm going to change my science load to 2,000. We may wait longer to build up 2,000 science, but I think that'll be better in the long run. It's arrived. Whoosh, there goes the stuff. And you're sitting here waiting to download more Bioflux. I'm just going to send it down. So I may have made a mistake by going with 3 of these. This guy turns out 30 biter eggs a minute, so I'm getting 90 biter eggs a minute out of that. Well, it works. Hey, we're doing overgrowth soil. That means we are ready to put the better science guys in. Yeah, we are. Okay, so all of this can go away. I'm going to put this back down here in the same location. Let's see if I start this centered. Just like that. Snap to grid, absolute. I have no idea how many of these we can rationally do, but hey, why not? That's 32 of these guys. That's 40 of them. I don't think there's any problem with having more of them. These guys are waiting on capture bot rockets. Okay. So I do need to make these capture bot rockets. Probably don't need to have very many of them in stock. Not flamethrower returns, capture bot rockets. I think I'm going to put 10 of them in stock. And actually, let's grab this. I'm going to put it right here. Oh, this says if I wanted to run these at full speed, we need 11 more of them. Okay, well, that really means what I want to do is kill off those. So we look at this, and it says I need 4 of these total. There we go. So that's all balanced out, or we can produce 15 more Biolabs every minute if we want. And that'll keep 10 capture bot rockets in stock. I don't need to carry my defense stuff anymore, so you all can go away. So, spider eggs. They spoil in 30 minutes. What I want to do is I want to keep